Holes PBJ sandwich.
But it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts.
What's up?
Siamese twins.
Bloody fucking hell.
Sir George, you just disappear into this abyss of ice. Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
I'm almost gonna laugh.
They don't give a damn. They
Expert analysis right there.
Trying to grow the game.
Shut up, dude.
you number one.
5 Super Bowls.
Sir George.
You're being a jerk.
I got a big ass.
Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Take your ass and be a PE all-star.
I'm tired of talking to you. You're being a jerk.
It drives me nuts. But it drives me nuts.
What's up?
Siamese twins.
Sir George.
Bloody fucking hell.
Buttholes.
Bullshit.
You're getting too deep into this.
One of the Kardashians' asses. Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Take your ass and be a PE all-star.
Buttholes PBJ sandwich. You just disappear into this abyss of ice. Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Expert analysis right there.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight. Shut up, dude. 5 Super Bowls.
you number one.
How do you like me now?
They don't give a damn.
I'm tired of talking to you.
Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
Trying to grow the game.
Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
What's up?
Siamese twins.
Sir George.
Shut up, dude. What's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Buttholes PBJ sandwich.
That's not what I meant. That is just off the wall bad.
He was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
Cowboys the shit team.
you number one, Jared. Number one.
Sir George. Trying to grow the game.
Shut up, dude.
Talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich.
They're playing with sticks and pop all the time.
Bullshit.
They don't give a damn.
Expert analysis right there.
You're almost gonna laugh.
What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you!
Had to switch up on the flow, gotta keep them on their toes. I move quick, I make the most, why they copy what I wrote. Follow everything I post, never trip about a clone. Cause they know what's a sheep to a goat. Yeah. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise they ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, hey, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in.
Well, you're being a jerk.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Siamese twins.
Siamese. What did you say? Siamese twins.
But no.
Oh God, I just got what you were saying. That's not what I meant. Oh man, that is just off the wall bad.
He was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit.
Or, hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just sold Jerry a joke. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. You number one, Jerry. Number one.
No nudity on this show. We may drop an MFer once in a while, but we are not going nude. Good Lord. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now. And don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
That's a lot of
take
cover.
a lot of cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Is that so I can open it up when I need to go? You know,
Hey, you're getting too deep into this.
Rivalries make sports great, but they
Yes.
got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird. If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE all-star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight. What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ice.
Somehow he talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich.
And they're playing with sticks, and they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there.
Trying to
And
grow
then-
the game, man. Global game.
These people, they don't give a damn.
I've ridden the Eye of London. I've also ridden the butthole of London.
You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It draws me nuts.
I don't ever want to see you ever again. You've been absolutely atrocious.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Yes, folks. Welcome. The self-proclaimed best in the podcast game are back on this beautiful Wednesday evening. I am Casey, the remix schedule, the bald and the beautiful on top today. Eddie, the original schedule. Say hello to the people.
Well, folks, as you can see, I'm in the RV
Hey,
in an undisclosed location.
I see what you did there. I see what
Yeah,
you did.
you like that? I'm a poet and I know it.
Hey, do your thing. I was about to say something really dumb. I'm going to stop. All right. Well, folks, welcome in. We're excited to have you. A lot of changes going on. Might have noticed with the intro. Still going to tweak that a little bit, but I think it's absolutely hysterical. So if you don't like it, screw you. You have no sense of humor. But speaking of sense of humor, we like to start the show, every show, with the joke of the show. Always requested by our number one fan from day one. She doesn't think we're funny enough, so we try to start out funny. So here we go. By the way, folks, feel free to comment. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from. Ask questions, get in the debate, all that jazz in the comment section. We appreciate it. And let us know, to start off with, let us know if the old man made you laugh or not, because he hasn't made me laugh in almost 2 years. So other than when I look at him, he just looks funny. So.
Oh, you're hilarious. You're hilarious.
Oh, it's kind of a shot at myself too, isn't it? Because I am your son, so I have some of your features. So, anyways,
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit the people with the joke.
All right. So, yeah, I signed up for this. You know, I'm kind of out here in an undisclosed location, and I'm looking for something to do, and I saw this thing for a salsa class, and I'm like, sweet. So I sign up for it, and I show up for the salsa class, and the instructor breaks out with, "All right, who's ready to dance?" I put my tortilla chips back in my backpack, and I said, "There's been a misunderstanding."
Wow.
All right. That was hilarious. Get it?
As
The tortilla chips.
No, I got you. I think everyone understood. I mean, you kind of saw where that joke was going pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna say it like this: like at the end of the intro video, bye. I don't ever want to see that joke again. That was atrocious. So, sorry.
Atrocious. Do you even know what atrocious means?
Yes, it means horrible, awful.
You know, we need a new segment like we used to do in the car when you're little, the rhyming game. See who can keep going.
Yeah. We'll start right now. Orange.
Yeah, see, it has to be one that has at least something to rhyme.
I know. All right, well, let's get into it.
Hear that stuff. So,
yeah, let's get into it. Let me give the folks the rundown, and then we'll get into our first segment. Tonight, we're obviously going to do a Cowboy season wrap up. What needs to change? What would be my plan, the old man's plan, to fix these Dallas Cowboys? And then we're going to get lost in an NFL roundabout. A lot to talk about there. Obviously, coaching changes, playoff teams. We got picks with Pops, playoff edition, college and NFL. We got we'll do our college football playoff picks in the college football, the segment after the picks with Pops, mixed with college football reactions. Then we're going to talk about this transfer portal. We talked about it before. I want to know if the old man, how he's feeling about it, and maybe get some of y'all's ideas on good old transfer portal. Then we got any New Year's resolutions around here? Do either of us have some things we're trying to change? Then we got tidbits, randoms, pet peeves, our whiskey of the week. You try to guess what's in the canter, which is right here. And if you get it right, I will personally buy you a bottle of that whiskey that's in the canter. So whiskey of the week, give it a shot. Don't be scared. I'm just going to, Steve, I'm sure, I'm not sure who you're asking if who's looking for a co-host. So
I think he's asking if we're looking for a co-host.
Well, we're not.
Sponsors, but
we're looking for sponsors, but we're not looking for another. Well, I mean, we might have another co-host in the works. You never know. Might switch some things up, but you just not saying we're replacing either of us by any means, because we are on time sports talk, but might be adding to it. Never know.
What I would say is that Steve, if you think you're a good guest or something, we might contact us and we might have you on as a guest to talk.
Yeah, or if he's talking about, I can't put it out there yet. I can't say I don't want to throw it out there, but there is a network that might be in the works that you might be trying to reach out to. So, all right. Well, let's get into these freaking doubts. I didn't put a ton of stuff on here because I know Cowboys and NFL and college football are going to take up a lot of time. We only doing 90 minutes tonight. So, the Cowboys season wrap up. The game wasn't even on here in Houston. The Texans were playing on that time, so I didn't get to see the debacle that was the Giants game. But I have to say the season, before the season, we thought the Cowboys were going to be pretty solid. I think you had them at one more win than I did. I think I had them at 11 or 12 wins. I don't think either of us anticipated the defense being this atrocious, this bad, this awful, this historically horrific defense that was the Dallas Cowboys defense in 2025, 2026. What things do you think that this team needs to change this offseason? Or actually, before we even get to that, give us your impressions of the season, and then let's talk about the offseason. So what did you, positives, negatives of, there's a lot of negative, but go ahead.
I'm going to beg to differ with you on that. We thought they were going to be good. I think we were being a little bit optimistic, but I think we both at the beginning of the season worried about the defense, because remember, there was still, they had just let Micah go, and we didn't know about the different moves they were going to make, which obviously to me was a little bit late in the season, but obviously you had to wait till you can make certain trades. But the overall season to me, obviously, it sucks when you have one of the number one offenses in the league and you just can't. But defense couldn't stop anybody. I'm not missing the fact that they let Diggs go. I think Diggs had a great year for 1 year and then just slowly trailed off and then got hurt and then never really has recovered from that. And good on him. He got the Packers picked him up. Now he has a chance to go on the playoffs along with Micah and do something. But as far as the season goes, I think it's typical Dallas season. We think good things coming in. You're thinking that they've got some pieces in place. Obviously, the jury was out on George Pickens. What was he going to be? Because him coming into the season from Pittsburgh, there was a lot of talk about him not being a great team guy, but he turned out to be a gem. And I think Jerry, during the season and Steven and the trades they made were setting up for the future, and I think everybody kind of needs to understand that it is not. You can only go so far with a great offense. We've seen that in the NFL forever. You can't. An offense doesn't always travel well, but a defense will travel well.
Well, the defense this year didn't travel at all.
No.
So, well,
but a lot
Trayvon,
of that,
I'm going to say something. Trayvon Diggs may get to do something in the playoffs. Micah ain't doing shit in the playoffs. Remember, he's hurt. So, so yeah, that's pretty much. I like your Pickens point. They thought he was done or couldn't be a good guy, I guess, and he had his bumps in the road this year. But I think the Cowboys. I do think the Cowboys. I think we thought they would be a playoff team at minimum. So
I think that's our relative. Is that our relative Philadelphia guy?
Yeah, that's that's Sean, man. That's our Philly people. Number one, appreciate the support, Sean. We love y'all out there. Yeah, well, it's pretty similar right now to the Bengals, right? That's the best parallel that I make to the Cowboys. A great offense, and ultimately not a great defense. And so, damn, yeah, he forgot you already. That's messed up, isn't it?
I did not forget him. I even said that's a Philly guy.
Hey, Sean, he's like 60 years old. Give him a break. He's getting up there.
Like 60, I am 60.
Okay, so. I was trying to give you a little bit of benefit of the doubt,
but you know what though? He's right though. It's crazy because we get half a good team, and he's exactly right. But to me, a lot of it had to do with the defensive coordinator. At the beginning of the year, it was all about the defensive coordinator to me because they kept playing zone. Even the announcers were saying it. All they're doing is playing zone. And so it was all about the defensive coordinator not making adjustments. And unfortunately, he never made any more adjustments as it went.
Yeah, there was there was those one or two games he went a little more man and they played a little better. You kind of transitioned there from the season into the off season there. Well, step one of the off season they did right. They got rid of Eberflus. All right, or someone call that man a ride because he needs one. He's now Uberflus because he needs a ride share right now out of town. Don't ever come back to Dallas. So, why are you looking at me?
What?
Yeah, he needs a ride share. He's now Uberflus instead of Eberflus. See what I did there? There you go. Now it clicks. There we go.
Okay.
My God,
all right. Uberflus. It'd be Uber less. Uber loose.
So that was the first step. I don't know who I know who this is the person I would hire. It's who I wanted to hire last year. They should hire Al Harris. That's who I think should be the defensive coordinator. I know a lot of people are tying the Cowboys to Brian Flores. I'm not a huge fan of Brian Flores. I would be happy with him. I think anything's an upgrade. What Minnesota did to Dallas this year, I'm just not. Maybe I'm sour grapes on how the Miami situation ended. The guy still has an open lawsuit against the league. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I feel like Al Harris deserves a shot. And he's put in his time. He was with the Cowboys. The defensive back room played really well with Al Harris in the room, especially when Dan Quinn was here. So I like Al Harris at that defensive coordinator spot. But I've heard rumors.
My hope is the Joneses don't rehash some of these guys who've been around.
Well,
I think they need a younger, like you're talking about. Al Harris, I don't know how young he is, but but a guy who hasn't been in that position or is fairly new to it. I think that's where they need to go. Don't bring in some of these guys who've been there forever.
Well,
I think they need fresh eyes.
The other rumor that they're kind of linking the Cowboys to is Jim Schwartz, the former head coach, defensive coordinator for Cleveland. Obviously, he did well in Cleveland, and that defense was kind of like the opposite of the Cowboys. Great defense, horrible offense. But to continue moving on into this offseason, man, step one is the defensive coordinator. Two is, I think your main issue is obviously fixing the defense. But in-house, the first thing you need to start looking at is your key free agents. All right, top of that list is George Pickens, right? And then the second, and I could probably make an argument, this guy might need to be number one, it's Javonte Williams in the running game, and the impact he had. So those two are the top free agents in my book. Kenneth Murray, get the hell out of town. Don't ever come back. Donovan Wilson, gone. Sam Williams, gone. Jalen Tolbert, maybe if the price is right. Dante Fowler, he played hurt all year. I could see them bringing back he made $6 million this last year. I think around a $2 or $3 million deal get him back. And I like Brock Hoffman, the center. He seems to be somewhat versatile playing center and guard. But Pickens and Javonte Williams, but on the defensive side, because none of that addresses the defensive side of the ball, right? So where do you go? And last week, or the beginning of this week, I should say, guess what name was circulating, I can't even talk now. Going around circulating. That's what I'm talking about. Circulating the rumor mill again. Max Crosby.
Yeah, I'm just getting tired of hearing that crap because it continually comes up. And granted, it's like the only player right now on the Raiders that they have that anybody really even knows.
Well, Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty. Outside of those three, I couldn't name another Raider other than Geno Smith.
Genty was not. He did not light it up.
Well, they had a horrible offensive line. Like that's
that kind of hurts his chances. But
yeah, hear me out on this Max Crosby thing. All right, he got pissed off because they shut him down for the rest of the year. He wanted to keep playing the last few weeks of the year. They shut him down, so it put a sour taste in his mouth. Obviously, there's a chunk of money there you have to commit, but it's less money, way less money than Micah. And also, he's already been off. He's already had a year of his deal that he signed. So you're saving some money there. So if you make that trade, I say you don't trade the number 11 pick, you trade the 21 pick. The second first rounder here, because no first round pick this year will impact your team like Max Crosby. You could have the number 1 pick and they still wouldn't impact your team like Max Crosby. So now you start looking at that defensive line situation. And if you re-sign Clowney, by the way, as well, that's a free agent I didn't mention.
They need to do that. Clowney proved he's worth keeping around.
So I like Ezeraku, the rookie from Boston College we had this year. He showed signs of growth. I really like him. So you have Ezeraku rotating with Clowney. I think you got to say bye to Kenny Clark or restructure his deal to bring him in back for less money, because you're not going to be able to make a ton of moves with 3 defensive tackles making over $20 million. But so here's your line: Clowney / Ezeraku, Quinnen Williams, Ziggy Dua, Max Crosby. That's one of the best defensive lines in the league if you make that move.
Yeah, if you make that move, but I'll believe it when I see it. Because
you didn't believe the Quinnen thing either.
Every year, it's always what makes the most sense. Now, I will say that the Joneses surprised me with these off-season moves, going out and getting Quentin Williams, that was a major move to fill a gap. But the bottom line, they need either a free safety or a strong safety, and they need
I got you on that. So linebacker, you're in nickel most of the time, right? So Overshown is one of your linebackers. That first pick, Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. I think he's the best linebacker in the draft. I think you could get him at 11. There's your Mike linebacker to pair with Overshown. He's a beast. Okay. Now, corner, Deron Bland is back because of his contract. He has a spot. I like Revel. Revel was raw. He came off the knee injury in college. I think he showed he could be one of your 3 top corners. So, therefore, you're signing one corner. Find them in free agency. Safety, Malik Hooker is going to be back probably because of contract, unless they want to eat some of his salary. And then you need to find another safety in free agency to pair it. Matter of fact, and you might be able to maybe trade up in the draft to maybe snag a safety or something like that in the third round that you like. Maybe Taft from Texas or someone like that. Now, if they don't do the trade with Max, I'd say draft Ruben Bain Jr. with your first pick from Miami and see what happens at the 21st pick. Maybe you get a safety there. Maybe you get a linebacker. Maybe Styles falls and you can trade up or something like that. But that's how I would fix the defense. New coordinator like Al Harris, I would make the trade for Crosby first and maybe a couple next year or like a third or fourth rounder next year. Draft Styles first round and get my safety and other starting corner in free agency is where I would go, along with re-signing Pickens, Javonte Williams, Clowney, those guys. So, and you know, you might a sneaky name for a veteran linebacker though, Demario Davis from the Saints. He's old, but he still plays at a very high level. Might be a guy they could go get. So, all right.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely have you're on the right track here. But hang on, I was looking for somebody I think you're kind of leaving out here, but in the draft. But I got to see if he's eligible first. But yeah, there's another guy that lives in Texas who was playing for A&M, who's pretty damn good. That would be a very good draft pick. Now, the problem is he's not. I mean, he's 6'2", 248. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
It's Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. He was wrecking the league. SEC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. That, to me, might be a steal in the draft if he's available for that first round. So,
I mean, I think it depends what you do with the 11. If you go defensive end there, I think Ruben Bain Jr. is the best defensive end in college football.
yeah, but do you really think he's going to be available for their pick?
You never know. You never thought CeeDee Lamb was going to be available at 15. So you just never know how the draft is going to fall. You got to follow that big board. If the best corner in the draft drops, take the corner. You know, I think if you need to take the best defensive player available on your board with number 11. And if you don't make the trade for Crosby or make another trade, if you have both those first round picks, they need to both go defense. Unless some crazy talented guy on the offensive end drops that you just can't pass up, that would change your franchise, which I don't know if that guy is in this draft. You know, I don't see a Randy Moss in the draft or anyone like even like CeeDee Lamb dropping. So, yeah, I think Cowboys did the first step yesterday, fired Eberflus. That's the first good step. Let's see who they'll bring in. Which before we go to the NFL roundabout, I know we both were kind of, well, I think you were a little more accepting of the idea. Did Shoddy win you over this year? Did Shoddy make you a fan of his?
Yes. I mean, he was calling offense, obviously. And that offense was, if I'm not mistaken, weren't they pretty much number one in the league?
They were. I think they were definitely top 3.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think you need him because he made the offense more versatile. Even though, yes, Pickens was a diamond in the rough, so to speak. Yeah, he made the offense more versatile. He made them. They were hard to predict, and that's something they haven't had. And then smart enough to know when to use the run game, and of course Williams was a big part of that because he's his old self. So yeah, I think Shoddy won me over to he needs to let's get him a decent defense and let's see what he can do. I mean, obviously there's big name coaches out there with Harbaugh on the market now, but I'm not totally sold on Harbaugh either, because he has one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And he's got one of the best running backs in the league. And they haven't done it. They haven't got there. I mean, he got there the one year, but
I mean, he has a Super Bowl ring.
He does, but it wasn't with this group.
Well, no, I mean this defense was not good for the Ravens. I know we're kind of getting off track here, but the Ravens defense was atrocious. They weren't as bad as the Cowboys, but they weren't good. Lamar Jackson was hurt a lot of the year. I think they didn't give it to Derrick Henry enough. They started doing it towards the end of the year, but I mean, John Harbaugh, I mean, he was there 18 years. I'm interested to see where he goes. I was going to talk about coaches and the coaching carousel in the NFL roundabout. But back to the Shoddy point, I do think Shoddy made me a fan. And if you watch the NFL Hard Knock series, the in-season series, you even get a more feel of kind of the coach he is. Seeing the post-game talks and how he, talks to guys and talks to the team. And it's, that's really what won me over. I mean, I love the play calling, the things you mentioned about him. But Shoddy won me over because I was very critical of the hire. I didn't know if, I was just kind of like,
who was
well, yeah, most people were, but, so yeah. All right, let's go to the NFL roundabout. Let's go around. Coaches getting fired left and right. Obviously, this past Monday is known as Black Monday. Got 7 openings in the NFL. We got the Titans, who fired their coach midseason. We got the New York Giants, who fired Daboll in the middle of the season. Then we got the Falcons, the Browns, the Cardinals, the Raiders, fired Pete Carroll after 1 year. And, of course, the Ravens. Out of these 7 jobs, if you were the hot guy, if you were the number one candidate on the market, what job would you want? The Titans, Giants, Falcons, Browns, Cardinals, Raiders, or Ravens?
I'm going to the Giants. I think the Giants are the best job right now because they've got young talent. They obviously have the number one pick. There's going to be a lot of pressure with that. But I think they have young talent. I think they just need somebody to bring all that together, add a few more pieces, and that's where I think Harbaugh is going to go. I think he's going to go to the Giants because there is a lot more potential to get something going very quickly.
Any chance? Because I've heard this on some of the major sports outlets. Any chance the Giants trade Dart and take Mendoza with the first pick of the draft?
I don't think you can do that. I think
you can do it. It's the Giants. They do stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, well, they're not the freaking Browns. But I think Dart has proven what you need is a coach that first off teaches the son bitch how to slide, and what?
He's had 4 concussions this year.
Yeah, that's worrisome because but the thing is, he's always taking unnecessary hits. And they need to spend this whole off season. They need to let him go play baseball, learn how to frickin' slide, dude. Do something. Because, and plus, I already told you about Scatterboo. I think Scatterboo's he's got the heart of a champion. He's gonna give you everything he's got. And unfortunately, that's probably going to get him hurt more often than not, like he did this year, because he's one of those guys who's going to throw his entire body into stuff. But I just think you have a lot to build on there. And so that's where I think Harbaugh is going to end up, is with the Giants.
Don't forget Malik Neighbors as well, the standout wideout for them who tore his ACL. And their defense is pretty solid.
Yeah, any of these other jobs, the Raiders are a freaking dumpster fire. You don't want to go there because, like you said, they're probably going to trade Crosby. I don't think he's going to go to the Cowboys, but they have nothing. I mean, except a running back, maybe.
They have a top 3 tight end in the league. Brock, you forget about Brock Bowers. Yeah. Dude is a beast.
The Browns are the freaking Browns. Who the hell wants to coach them? Obviously
Deion Sanders wants to coach him.
Who?
Deion wants to coach him. He got denied permission.
That's an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought.
They already said no.
Oh, yeah, but let's see how that goes when Shador goes, Dad, come on. Look what we can do.
I'm not saying he already requested to talk to him and the Browns said no. That's what I'm saying. Out of these teams, I'm going to be honest. I think the Ravens is obviously the best job to go to as far as talent on the roster. But the one that I think is sneaky good is actually the Falcons. You got Bijan Robinson, probably the best offensive player in the league right now. You have Kyle Pitts, who, when used right at tight end, can be the best tight end in the league. You have Penix Jr., who showed you a little something. And if you don't want to go with him, maybe you draft a quarterback. The defense needs to be fixed a little bit. But there was times the defense played well and times it didn't. I think I said during the season, the Falcons are very schizophrenic. So along with the Panthers, they're very frustrating. They beat a great team, then they lose to 2 or 3 bad teams. So I think I would go Atlanta. I would go to the Falcons out of these groups. You're right. Browns dumpster fire, Cardinals dumpster fire, Raiders dumpster fire, Titans dumpster fire. I think your top 3 jobs are the Ravens, Giants, Falcons, out of the ones that are opening, and for now. So, any chance John Harbaugh joins his brother on the staff at San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers?
I don't think so. I just think that. That would be cool for me because the Chargers obviously are one of my teams. But I don't think so. I don't think he's going to. A guy who's been a head coach for 18 years, I don't think he's going to take a step back. I think he's going to be offered too much money to take a job.
Yeah, according to old Scheffner, more teams called than have openings in the first 45 minutes of him.
That's interesting. So which teams who have a head coach, if besides Miami's the obvious one to me.
Yeah.
Is I think they're one of them. And I think that's probably the one that would have called that has a head coach, because I can't think of any other team that currently has a head coach that would be looking for someone else.
The Jets.
Besides Miami.
Jets.
Sorry, I dropped something. Dropped my Bluetooth thing. So
I mean, the Jets, the Saints, the Colts, Bengals. Those all could be teams.
Yeah, but why? I don't. I think Aaron Glenn. They're not. He's only been there a year,
Well, so was Pete
and
Carroll.
then. Well, yeah, but Pete Carroll was a bridge coach. Everybody knew that he wasn't going to stick around unless they just lit it up. He was already retired.
All right.
So,
well, the coaching carousel is obviously yet to be played out. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Since last time we were on, obviously the regular season was going on, and now we're into the playoffs. And so let's talk about these playoff teams. I guess we'll kind of see here in a minute, but we got. Let's just go game by game. Let's go Rams Panthers. Who you thinking in that game, Rams or Panthers?
so is this the picks with Pop then?
Yeah, we're kind of combining it. Picks with Pop / end of the NFL segment.
The Rams all the way. There's no way the Panthers are going to beat the Rams.
Well,
no stinking way. The Panthers snuck in. So, no, there's no way that the Panthers are going to beat the Rams. The Rams are
Panthers are at home. I can't even bullshit y'all. I can't even talk myself into trying to make a case for the Panthers. I think it's the Rams as well. We got the Bills at Jacksonville.
This is an interesting one. Very interesting.
It's very interesting because the Jags have quietly won 9 games in a row.
Yeah. And that, I don't think that momentum's going to stop. I think Trevor Lawrence is finally playing like the draft pick he was supposed to be. So I'm going Jaguars because I think your boy, gosh, I think this was, and there is more pressure to me. He's I shouldn't say more pressure, but he has so much pressure on his shoulders because the Chiefs aren't there to take it away from him. The Ravens aren't there to take it away from him. This is the first year when there is not an AFC juggernaut to knock the Bills off. Juggernaut.
You mean juggernaut?
And I say juggernaut because you jog. Not.
No,
I don't
you said
like
jogger. You're trying to make an excuse.
I'm not a jogger, so I'm a juggernaut.
You're saying
so
that
there is not
stupid
one of those teams. So he has to win it this year. If he doesn't win it, then everything I said is true.
Well, everything you said is not true about Josh Allen because you said he wasn't a top 5 quarterback. He proved you wrong. You said he wasn't going to be the MVP. He proved you wrong. You said they weren't going to make the playoffs this year. He proved you wrong. And he's going to prove you wrong.
Going to make the playoffs.
He's going to prove you wrong in this game.
Tell me where I said the Bills are always making the playoffs with Josh Allen. The problem is that's all they make. They don't get to the promised land.
For the last 7 years,
AFC Championship or whatever.
For the last 7 years, every team in the AFC has just gotten to the playoffs except the Chiefs. So let's not act like this was a Bills exclusive to it. Now, I don't disagree with you in the pressure department. You're right. Neither of us, most people on this planet with the same brain, would have never predicted the Ravens and Chiefs not being in the playoffs this year. That is almost unfathomable. All right. Matter of fact, I think those are my 2 picks to win their divisions. I know it was the Chiefs because I was like, I'm going to pick the Chiefs until they get knocked off. But
you did. I picked the Raiders like crazy.
Yeah, that was a worse pick than That might have been the worst division pick of the year. But I'm obviously going with the Bills because the Bills are my Super Bowl pick. I'm going to ride them until I can't anymore.
Your man crush is the quarterback. Yeah, so you can't say shit because he's your man crush.
I don't have a man crush. I just respect the man's game and understand how good he is. But I will say this is the worst team that Josh Allen has entered the playoffs with. So that if you're asking me to actually put money on the game, I'm betting on the Jaguars. But I'm picking the Bills. All right, Chargers at the Patriots. What are you thinking there?
This is going to be a tough game, and I haven't seen the weather for this one. I think the weather is going to be a big factor if it's bad. But I think the Chargers have had some time to heal up a little bit. Their quarterback has needed that. So I think the Chargers are actually going to win this. I mean, I love Vrabel, and I love his coaching style. I mean, I wish we had him. I mean, there wasn't anybody who thought the Patriots were going to turn it around this quickly just by changing the coach, which they did. And of course, their quarterback is MVP candidate this year. So yeah, I'm going with my Chargers. I have to go with my Chargers. That they're going to go into town, and they've been playing really well lately. So I think they got some momentum.
No, you're wrong. You're just simply dead wrong. Patriots, and by the way, the Patriots spent a shit ton of money in free agency last year. So it wasn't just they brought in a new coach. They actually did what the Cowboys don't do and actually went and got some talent on their roster via free agency and draft. So I'm going with the Patriots. I think they were the best team in the East or in the AFC. Obviously, they're the best team in the AFC East. I think they're the best team in the AFC the majority of the year. So I'm going Patriots there. All right, let's go let's go to the NFC side. We got Packers. Well, we already did one NFC side. But let's go to the next one. Packers at Chicago.
What are you going? I'll let you go first this time.
Well, I know damn sure Trayvon Diggs ain't gonna make a difference in this game.
He might by letting somebody get open the whole game.
Yeah. You know, I will never cheer for Caleb Williams because of the painted fingernails thing and the girly clothes he wears. But as a team and as Ben Johnson, and how the Packers have limped to the playoffs, I'm going to have to pick Chicago on this.
Yeah, I'm the same. Go Bears. I think this will be the third time they're playing each other, but usually the biggest factor in that is that who's at home, and the Bears are at home. So
yeah,
Bears all the way.
Solid. 49ers in Philly. I know who Sean would be picking, but who is the original picking?
This is an interesting game. And normally, if it was the Eagles of last year, I'd be all saying that the Eagles can win this. But I think the 49ers and the way they've played, and Purdy surprises everybody. I mean, everybody's like, he's done, he's over. And he just comes out and does some shit. You're like, who the hell was that? So, yeah, I'm going 49ers are going into Philly and unfortunately, making the Philly folks cry. It will be cry, Eagles cry, not Eagles fly, because 49ers are going to win that game.
Well, good sir, once again, we agree. I think 49ers are going to go to Philly, take care of business. I don't think the Philly offense has enough because I don't think you magically take a offensive all is right pill. And so I agree with you. Philly loses at home to the 49ers, and A.J. Brown gets traded this offseason. So, all right. Texans at Pittsburgh.
I'll let you go
that
first.
Texas defense is just beastly. I think the offense has figured it out a little bit, but there's just something right now about Rodgers' magic. I'm picking Pittsburgh at home.
Wow. Well, I'm going against you on that one because, as I said, defense travels, and Texans have the best defense in the league, in my opinion. You got one of my favorite players. You will be hunted by the hunter, and I just think the Texans are peaking at the right moment, and their offense is finally getting it together. Stroud is starting to look like the Stroud of old, and I think they go in there and win this game. I think Metcalf is coming back for this game, right? For Steelers.
Yes.
So Metcalf needs to. He's under a lot of pressure for being stupid toward the end of the season with his little tussle with the fan. You got to be smarter than that. But yeah, I think the Texans. The Texans are the ones that should scare teams because they are coming in with that high-powered defense. So, yeah, Texans go into Steel Town and take them down.
All right. Well, there's our picks with Pops NFL edition. We're going to get to some here in college football. The college football playoff bracket continues. Last week, Oregon took down Texas Tech, absolutely shut down Texas Tech's offense. Indiana, no more Crimson Tide is waving down there on the Gulf Coast. Ole Miss takes down Georgia.
There's something waving down there. There's a white flag waving down there right now, and smoke from where they got just smoke checked, even though they were in Indiana. But the smoke's rising from Indiana. So
100%. Hey, what up, Freddie? We appreciate you tuning in. And then you got Miami taking down the Ohio State Buckeyes. Hey, sorry, Damo.
Where is Damo?
Damo's not on there because he didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear this shit because he was talking smack all over the world when we lost to Miami, our beloved Aggies. And I was actually cheering for Ohio State because I've lived there for 5 years. Miami is Miami. It just kind of is what it is, right? But the Buckeyes, I was kind of happy because now we can say we both lost to Miami. But man, Ohio State, number one all the year. I tried to make this point before the playoffs started. If you looked at Ohio State's schedule, they didn't play anyone all year, and the one team they did play, they lost. #Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. So I wanted them to continue. I wanted Ohio State to get all the way to the national championship and lose, to be honest, because the heartbreak would have been even worse. But Miami's defense, that defensive line is just something else. So right now, Pops, if you want to talk about any of those quarterfinals games, feel free. But semifinals, we got Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss, the U. Where you want to go?
Yeah, I want to talk about. There's another one. Ole Miss taking down number 3 Georgia. In a very close game, and that was the fun game to watch. Obviously, Texas Tech just laid a goose egg. That was just totally unexpected that was going to happen. I really thought Tech had it going on, but man, they just could not find anything. But Ole Miss, and as they're saying, and I'm going to use this term again, Ole Miss is America's team right now.
Take that, Lane Kiffin. That's what they're saying.
Because these and you think about it, it's the players. The players have made a decision. We are going to continue to. It's like old what was it? Varsity Blues or whatever that movie when the coach left and they said we are going to take this thing over and we're going to win this game. That has been the attitude of these Ole Miss players, and they did it. They took
I
down
don't
Georgia.
want your life.
Yes, exactly. I don't want your life. Not. I forget his name, but
James Vanderbeek.
yeah,
Jonathan
yeah,
Moxon was the character's name.
yeah. Unfortunately, I just remember the whipped cream bikini from that movie. She now plays on Landman, and there is no bikini in most of her scenes. But now see, I totally lost my train of thought. Ole Miss is America's team, and I think a lot of people are rooting for them. I know I'm rooting for them. But which was totally unexpected, and Texas Tech laying a goose egg. Ole Miss beat Georgia was a big damn deal to me. So they've proven that that the players want. They got something to prove. And that's a scary team when everybody on that team believes they got something to prove.
Yep. Good take. I'll give you some applause for that. Did you even catch it?
No, I didn't hear it.
You can't hear it at all?
I was trying that earlier. It doesn't work. Sound effects. I didn't hear them.
Oh, well, I can hear them. So, and hopefully the people can hear them. But, the shutting down of Texas Tech offense was it's very surprising by Oregon. I thought Oregon would win the game. I was cheering for Tech just because they're from Texas. But the Indiana, man, what a job that the head coach has done in Indiana, and it's impressive. I know people are all like, maybe he should go to the pros now, blah 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 blah. Man, I wouldn't leave Indiana. You can be the guy in Indiana history forever if you stay there. Kind of like if Lane Kiffin would have stayed at Ole Miss. But these next two games, I think Indiana takes.
Remember, Lane Kiffin probably left Ole Miss. He ain't ever going to say this because he thought he didn't have the team to win a national championship. Because if he did, why would you leave?
I don't know. I mean, it's either I don't know. I still think he was over villainized in that situation, but I kind of hope Ole Miss does win it just so they can give the biggest middle finger to, as a person with, obviously I was a coach for a long time, to leave and then have your team win it is like one of the worst, especially when it was your choice to leave. So that would be crazy. So, but Miami, Ole Miss, I think Miami's going to win though. I've talked about the defensive line many times. I think it's going to be Indiana and Miami national championship game ultimately.
That's wrong.
You think that's wrong?
I think Ole Miss is going to take down Miami because Miami's got to come to. They've got to. Well, actually, no. What is the bowl game for this one? The Fiesta Bowl, right? Where is that played at?
Fiesta Bowl is in. Is that in Arizona?
I think so. So, I think on a neutral field, I think Ole Miss is going to win I think Ole Miss. It's just their players are all aligned. Every one of them, when you hear them talk and they do their interviews, everyone sounds the same. Now, on the other side of that, with Indiana does it also. That's another reason why Indiana is so good. Because when you hear, whether it's Mendoza or any of the other players talking about, we started with this in the off season. We are a brotherhood. They all talk the same. So I think it's going to be Ole Miss and Indiana. And depending on how Ole Miss shows up against Miami, then I'll give my pick who's going to win the final. But it's going to be Indiana and Ole Miss in the championship.
I don't know if I'm buying the brotherhood line with the transfer portal and how college football is these days. But those are your picks, and we'll see how they end up. But because I segue into that because the transfer portal needs to be fixed. Do you know how many players were in the transfer portal?
I think I heard like 185 or something.
4,000.
Oh, well, I was way wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. 185 might just be one program. Like there's a roster of one of the teams that made the college football playoff. I'm losing my mind here. Which one it was? They have 17 guys left on their roster. Everyone else entered the transfer portal. This needs to be fixed. And it needs to be, and part of this is the calendar that you didn't really want to talk about when the Lane Kiffin thing happened. But this is part of the reason why coaches have to make changes when they do and take jobs when they do, is because right now the portal is open. And so you're trying to recruit players. And now you have teams, you have these 4 teams. Huh?
It's just stupid to do. Yeah. It's like we didn't talk about this, but it'd be like the free agency going on right now during the playoffs.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so the calendar and how things are done needs to be fixed. That's number one, and that's completely within the NCAA's control. That's an easy ass fix. Okay, the other side of this is the transfer portal and NIL. All that needs. I've talked about this before. You've talked about it before. One, there needs to be a salary cap on the transfer or on NIL. There needs to be a cap on how much money. There's no way a college player should be making $5 million a year. I'm sorry. There's no way that should be happening.
The way I would fix that is that if you enter the transfer portal, it has a way lower cap. That if you stay with your same school, then okay, all bets are off. You can go as high as you want, except maybe you need to put a cap there. But it's the transfer portal. You need to take away some of the incentive for everybody. For 4,000 motherfuckers to go in it, it's broken.
Yeah,
that's a football league. That's an entire league.
That's more than all the players in the NFL, I think, over 4 times. But this is what I'll say to it is not only that, but the transfer rule needs to be changed, because now these guys just transfer whenever, after every single year. They'll sign a contract and they'll still fucking transfer. The quarterback from Washington University signed a $4 million contract with Washington. Someone said, we'll give you 4.5, and he still entered the portal. And so
it needs to be not only cap, but you can only do it once,
unless your coach leaves.
Yeah,
that's the only caveat. But even then, that's your one, essentially, if
your mulligan.
Yeah, it's your mulligan. If you go in as a freshman, your coach leaves, you transfer, that doesn't count against you. Right. So, but if you transfer again and that coach has stayed where you went, then that uses your one. Okay. And so that solves the craziness, because I don't even know who's on these teams most of the time. Like, I know Beck used to be on Georgia, and I think there was the dude last year in the draft that had a tattoo of every college he went to. And it was like 5 or 6 different schools.
Ohio State and a couple others, I think.
Yeah, he had the big Georgia G right here, and he was playing for someone else that next year in college.
Yeah, with a different jersey on.
Yeah, yeah. So you could file this, honestly. You could file this under my sports pet peeves. Okay, you really could. Is the transfer portal?
Oh, I have a pet peeve. Once you get to it.
Yeah, this is probably my biggest one in sports right now, is the NIL and the transfer portal. It's just not sustainable, and you have to reel it in. And the universities need to have the common sense to go, okay, we all need to sit down, and we can't just keep outbidding each other, because eventually where you get your money from is going to run out. Okay. There's only so many times A&M can call the donors and ask for money. There's only so much TV money. There's only so much advertising money. It can't exponentially always go up. And so, and that's what you get in these bidding wars for these players. And then they never learn a system fully. You never get true deep coaching and guys to invest in your progress. And so that's why it's so impressive when guys actually choose to stay and be a part of a program. To me, I would draft that guy over the little more talented guy in a heartbeat. So it's got to get fucking reeled in. It's so outrageously and outlandish right now. It's just sad to see. It's just sad to see. What's your pet peeve you got?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Any sport in football, if you have a mouthpiece on your helmet, use the damn mouthpiece.
What about the guys with two mouthpieces?
Two mouthpieces.
And they're not using either.
They're not using them. Like, how the hell do you run? I used to play football. My mouthpiece, if it wasn't in my mouth, it's doing this. How? Stop wearing a fucking mouthpiece if you're not going to use it. It's not like a fashion statement. And that's what you said. There's some people with two. Why do you have two mouthpieces? And
they'll do two and
use them.
And there'll be two colors not even near their team's school color.
Like the guy I think you're talking about, I can't remember. He had a white one and a pink one, which wasn't even his damn team.
Yeah.
It used to be if you had to wear a mouthpiece all the way up through the collegiate level. The reason, let me just put that out there to you dumb shits who aren't wearing it. The mouthpiece helps you not get a concussion. It's not to protect your fucking teeth. It is to protect the fact when you get hit on your chin that you don't get a concussion. And I'm just like, fine. If you don't want to put it in your mouth, then don't put it on your fucking helmet. It just looks stupid. God, it drives me nuts.
I gotta agree with you.
Nuts.
I gotta agree with you. We're gonna applaud that one right there. But I got another one. When you're talking about this stupid stuff, jewelry and football players. I can't stand when football players wear all this fucking gaudy jewelry and then it just looks stupid. And I don't know if you saw the story with Justin Jefferson. He lost a $50,000 earring on the field.
He's wearing it on a fucking football field.
Yes. I can't stand when dudes are wearing these fucking $100,000 chains. It's your money. It's your jewelry. You do you. You just look stupid. Okay, to me personally.
Now, now what would be a good job is the guys who have to go out there and check the field and clean it up, because I'd be out there looking for diamonds and all sorts of shit. I'd have a metal detector out there.
Well, they did find it and if I could fucking talk. Good Lord. It's no wonder I haven't been hired in radio. I can't even say a fucking sentence. But they did find it on the field and they gave it back to him. But I was just sitting there like, you get what you deserve. And I wonder, out of all these chains and earrings and all this that these dudes are wearing, I wonder how many diamonds have fallen out. Like the little ones or whatever. Like, I just remember. So, Kim, people are dying. I don't understand what you're saying, Boo. What is
messed up on typing?
Kim, people, I feel like that's a typo.
Yeah, I think that's.
I have no idea what you meant, Boo. Love you though. Appreciate you commenting.
But yeah, that's stupid. The whole mouthpiece. Hell, might as well put diamonds on their mouthpiece because they ain't freaking putting it in their damn mouth.
Well, they got plenty of diamonds in their mouth. It's just not their mouthpiece.
Yeah.
It trips me out how much money they spend on like making their teeth like that. I mean, I'm not hating on that. Like, do what you do, but just the amount of money that is. feel like probably find better use for your money there. But sorry. It was...
when Kim Kardashian lost her earrings in the ocean and she was freaking out. People kept saying, Kim, people are dying. Like, chill out.
Yeah. Sorry, Boo. I would have never got that reference.
Yeah. We had to do the follow-up because so people know what we're talking about there.
Yeah, we just,
that's the second reference to the Kardashians, because when Sir George mentioned about the Kardashians' asses. So,
yeah.
So
that's
a lot
true.
of love for the Kardashians and their asses.
All right. Well, so let's we're going to start wrapping it up here soon, but did you have any New Year's resolutions this year, 2026?
Well, I obviously, I realized this beautiful chiseled dad bod. I got to get back in shape. So now that I'm in my undisclosed location, there are a couple of bases. So I'm going to start using all their facilities since they're free and they have some of the best stuff. An indoor running track too, which is pretty sweet. So, but that's my biggest thing. I need to become half the man I am. Because that's what I need. So
I got you. So pretty standard New Year's resolution there. I like it. I would love to do a Spartan or a Tough Mudder with you one of these days before both of us are too old to do it. Linda's on a roll right now. I'm not gonna. He doesn't want to say where he's at, so I'm not gonna say where he's at. But
in the RV.
Yeah, you are in the RV, which I spent all morning cleaning mine. By the way, getting it ready to move it out.
You got to use it, huh?
Yeah,
you have to use it
with the new job. My New Year's resolution. I mean, I kind of started the working out thing last year, so, or really staying consistent with it last year. I've put on a lot of strength. I would like to cut some weight, but with the new job starting, my New Year's resolution is really to do everything I can to build that up and to be successful with it, because it's something I've never done before, being a kind of an independent contractor, starting a business within a business. And so I'm excited about that. And my resolution is just kind of dedicate and embrace the new opportunity that's been presented by, which I believe, with my faith that God has presented to me. So I also would like to, continue growing in my relationship with the man upstairs. So those would be my New Year's resolutions. And so, yeah, but tidbits, randoms, we already did pet peeves and whiskey of the week. Just tidbits about the show. Just know there might be some changes coming here soon, in a positive way. Crazy world of podcast and networks and all that stuff. So,
my only tidbit.
Huh?
I said my only tidbit is we didn't have any commercial breaks, but remember Easy Leadership. We actually have a big announcement on a new app that we're going to be having coming out. That's been a labor of love for me, finishing up the testing. So next time we should have something on that. But check out easyleadership.com, even though we didn't have any of our commercials tonight. But there'll be a big announcement on that. And we have a coaching group on Facebook that is growing. But check us out there, because we're one of that group, or my company there is one of our sponsors. So.
Yeah, we, because of changes, we had to slide onto our own streaming platform essentially for now, and so we didn't have time to upload the commercials to play for the folks. So, but yeah, excited about changes coming, and one of those, we may or may not be adding a third co-host to spice things up. So might be a co-host out of left field, someone you wouldn't expect. So, but you never know. You never know. Linda, we don't keep track of our episodes. That's just, I know that's something that you're supposed to do in the podcast world, but matter of fact, when I used to make the YouTube cover art, trying to get it better on the algorithm, I just used to put episode hell, like hell if we know. So,
well, we've been at it over a year now, so that's quite a
2
few
years, and it'll
episodes.
be 2 years in April.
Oh,
So,
2 years. So
that'll be 2 years in April. So I could probably go back and count it up at some point. I mean, I feel like we got to be pretty close to triple digits.
yeah.
So, but yeah, excited about where the show's going, who we're going there with, and nobody again. I guess y'all really don't think I'll actually send you a way to get a bottle of this whiskey. Like, I just don't understand why. But I'm
Well,
gonna
you
keep
don't give
doing it.
any
No,
hint. It just looks like brown water in there. And I mean, how many whiskeys are out there in the world?
a lot.
How many? Yeah.
Matter of fact,
So
there's a new one that I want to get called Tears of the Left. So, not to
Tears
get too,
of the Left.
yeah, not to get too political, but you know.
Well, they need to make a one to go with that called Tears of a Clown.
Oh man. But all right. Well, I guess that'll wrap it up. If
There's your first guess.
No, sweetie, it is not Red Stag, but thank you for trying. That's a good guess because that is my favorite whiskey, but the whiskey that's in it is Off the Wall. It's not a common one that you would get, but it's not so uncommon you couldn't get it. So, but it's not Woodford because Woodford's been in there before. But all right, well, let's wrap it up. We thank everyone for watching. New audience, new people. We're the same old folks. Appreciate it, as well as if you see this afterwards, we thank you for watching after the live and watching the shorts and reels and TikToks and all that we put out there. So, if you haven't followed us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. I just realized that this day I made it and I forgot to run it the whole damn show. But our ticker on the bottom, so you can follow us on all our socials. So, but yeah, my bad on that.
All right.
So, all right. Well, any last words of advice, encouragement, positivity, negativity, suggestions on how to not keep your head so shiny?
Not on that. Just always wear clean underwear. You never know when you're going to be in an accident.
That was better than your joke at the start of the show. That almost got me to smile. Well played.
Well, got to have something to hold your nuts.
You got me on that one. All right. Peace. We're out of here. We love y'all.
Bye.